Okay, have you ever looked at someone in a position of power? You know, a CEO, a celebrity, maybe even your own boss, and just wondered to yourself, how on earth did they get there? Well, today we're going to dig into that very question, why the people who seem to break all the rules so often end up winning the entire game. I mean, it's a feeling a lot of us have had, right? You see the ruthless, the totally self-serving, the people who just don't seem to care, and they're the ones climbing the ladder. So, is this just a coincidence? A few bad apples here and there? Or, and this is the big question, is our whole system actually built to reward this exact kind of behavior? Let's get into it.
And we're going to start with this puzzle, what we're calling the corner office conundrum. Because, let's be honest, it seems to fly in the face of everything we're taught about fairness and hard work.
And this isn't just about that one terrible manager you used to have. No, this is a pattern we see playing out on the biggest stages imaginable. We see it with celebrated tech founders, with those larger-than-life entertainers, even in politics. It's a story our culture seems to tell itself over and over and over again.
So if this is the problem that keeps popping up, who's the main character in the story? To really understand what's going on, we have to pull back the curtain and unmask the so-called leader who's at the very center of this whole dynamic.
So the key idea here is something called workplace narcissism. And look, it's way more than just someone having a big ego. It's a very specific, almost calculated pattern of behavior. It's all about putting the appearance of success, personal status, and their own career first, above everything and more importantly, everyone else. The well-being of the team? Yeah, that's just not even part of their equation.
And this right here is how we all get fooled so easily. We see something that looks like confidence, but really, it's just blinding arrogance. We mistake their ruthless self-interest for admirable ambition. We praise them for being decisive, totally missing the fact that their decisiveness comes from a complete lack of empathy for who gets hurt along the way. It's a classic and pretty dangerous case of mistaken identity.
So what's their secret really? How do they consistently come out on top while everyone else is trying to play by the rules? Well, it turns out they're not playing the same game. They have a very specific strategy, a playbook for total dominance.
And their plan is devastatingly simple. Just 3 steps. Step 1, focus only on what looks good. Image is literally everything. Step 2, secure your own personal win, always, even if it means the entire team takes a loss. And step 3, this is the one that unlocks the whole thing. Make every single choice completely disconnected from empathy. The cost to other people? That's just collateral damage on their way to the top.
But here's the thing. A playbook like that only works if the game itself allows for it. So now we've got to zoom out and look at the system, the culture, that doesn't just tolerate this behavior, but actually seems to encourage it and reward it.
This quote from our source material just absolutely nails it. It basically suggests that this thing we might call a toxic personality flaw has been reverse engineered into a blueprint for how to get ahead in the modern world. I mean, that is a deeply unsettling thought.
And when you look at it this way, you can see why that quote rings so true. Think about what our culture applauds. We celebrate the appearance of strength, even if it's all just talk. We put individual stars on a pedestal, and we completely ignore the teams that actually do the work. We love reckless choices as long as they seem decisive. And we turn CEOs and celebrities into heroes, making their playbook something to be admired, not called out.
So, okay, let's bring all of this back down to earth, back to you. Because if any of this is starting to sound uncomfortably familiar, if it's hitting a little too close to home for you, there's a really, really important reason for that.
And let me be absolutely crystal clear on this point. If you feel like you're working in a toxic place where this kind of behavior gets people ahead, you are not imagining it. You're not crazy. It is a real, documented phenomenon. And your frustration with it all is completely and totally valid.
So let's circle all the way back to that first question. Why do they win? It's not because they're smarter or more talented or better at the job. Nope. They win because they are willing to do the one thing most of us aren't. Put themselves first, always, at the direct expense of other people. That's their real competitive advantage.
And that leaves us with one final and I think crucial question. If the system is flawed, if the whole game feels rigged to reward the wrong players, then just getting angry at those players isn't enough. The real question we should be asking ourselves is, who has the power to actually change the rules, and how do we even start?